And we see here in the temptation of Jesus, it reveals to us three different tactics that Satan typically takes in order to try to tempt someone into sinning. And before we look at those three different tactics, I want to first briefly discuss a little bit about temptation itself. And so for you note takers, here's the first important thing to realize. Temptation by itself is not sin. Giving into it is. We know this because of Hebrews 4:15, where the Bible says that Jesus was tempted in every way as we are, yet was without sin. In other words, Jesus experienced the same kinds of temptations that we experience, but he never gave in to them, and thus he was tempted like we are, yet was without sin, which is a proof text, Hebrews 4:15, that temptation itself is not sin. Because Jesus was tempted and yet he didn't sin. He didn't give in to it. You and I can't control how we are tempted or when we are tempted. What we can control is our response to it. Martin Luther, in describing that very kind of situation where we can't control how or when we're tempted, but we can control how we respond to it, he once said this. He said, quote, "You cannot keep birds from flying over your head, but you can keep them from building a nest in your hair." Okay? Birds will fly overhead. You can't control that, but you have a say in whether or not they're going to make a nest in your hair. The same goes for temptation. Temptation comes. We can't control it. How it comes, when it comes, we have no control over. But we can control whether or not temptation ends up making a nest in our hair, and whether or not we give in to sin.